All right, here speaking with five-time Ironman World Champion, Mr. Carlos Moleda. He's got his women's handcycle team. So, Carlos, talk a little bit about how special this weekend is, having 4 national championships, 4 handcycles, and actually for para-athletes this weekend.
I think it's pretty historic, to be honest with you. You know, having all 4 national championships in one location, it's number one, it's practical for everyone, especially for the athletes. And the venues here in Boise are amazing, you know, especially the downtown crit last night.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible, fast, beautiful crowd. So, perfect place, I think.
Step one was having it here, and you see that coming back and this thing growing and growing and growing?
I believe this would be like, you know, a mecca, man, for handcycling. That's what we should shoot for, you know what I mean? And so far it looks like it's working. You know, I heard good things from the people, I mean, especially for next year coming back. You know, there's always improvement. You know, this is the first time. So I think this is going to grow and become a bigger and bigger event.
You are building your own facility down in Arizona. You are obviously all in on building the next generation of hand cyclists. Talk a little bit about what your goals are.
I mean, the goal is really to bring the technology that we need to produce better athletes. You know what I mean? So we don't have anything like that where we can, you know, gauge athletes' performance and be able to follow them and provide them with the guidance, resources to be able to reach their best. You know what I mean? So be like a mill for Paralympic athletes, and as well as for able-bodied athletes, you know, male, female, and everything else.
So you just found out a couple months ago that you are getting inducted in the Ironman Triathlon Hall of Fame. How special is that for you?
I mean, being inducted into the Ironman Triathlon Hall of Fame, it's amazing. It's a dream come true for me. It's a validation that the work that I do, that we do as you know, especially the Challenge Athletes Foundation, it's heard and seen. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just a validation that all the work that I've done, you know, was paid attention and people are valuing it.
The idea of creating a women's handcycle team, where there's nothing like that out there in the world. No. How important is that, do you think, to growing the sport?
I think having, you know, the first female handcycle team in the world really is the next level. That's what we need to do to advance women's sports and sports overall. We need to organize, be more professional, and show the public that we're not just people with disabilities trying to prove something. Right. We're athletes that we train, work hard. You know, we don't reap the financial rewards that the regular athlete yet, but that's the goal. So people can look at us like, this guy works as hard as any professional guy, so he deserves to get as much as this other person gets.
So, moving forward, how do we grow the sport? How do we get more athletes to create more awareness for people to know that there is hand cycling out there? They can go to Paralympics, they can go to Ironman, they could be racing the roads, they can race in the world. Right.
I mean, the key to keep, you know, is to keep people interest up. You know, so we have to have good events, we have to have good resources for people to go to be able to get equipment, get information. So we are right now we're at a breakthrough point where the Challenge Athletes Foundation is building this amazing facility here in Idaho.
Yes.
That will be, you know, providing amazing guidance and resources for a large amount of people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I foresee this sport really growing twofold within the next 2 years.
You were one of the guys who told me you've traveled the world and you've seen nothing like what Challenge Athletes Foundation does.
I mean, the Challenge Athletes Foundation is the most unique organization in the world for me. Like I said, you know, I have, you know, the opportunity to travel to Europe, race there, and in talking to the athletes there, I realized that there's nothing like the Challenge Athletes Foundation anywhere in the world, you know, that has such a broad reach. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not like a little town organization. This thing goes all over the world and provides equipment, funding, and resources for anyone that has the will to do something. Mm-hmm. There are no more excuses. You know what I mean? Now you have to grab the ball and you have to run with it.
Love it. Carlos, thank you for everything you do for CAF.
Thank you, Bob. My pleasure.
All right. That's Carlos Moleda, Breakfast with Bob. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.